Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome to, guess what? City Skylines. Yeah, but not green cities. Parklife. Have a look here. Have a look. Yeah. Parklife. Absolutely. And the reason this map looks so empty is because I had the full intention of continuing on the other one. I'm just having a look as I'm speaking. I had the full intention of continuing with the other playthrough, the Green Cities playthrough, the Green Cities map and so on, and how I've done that. But, yeah, you guessed it. It kind of got broken with some of the assets. Look at this. Look at that. How cool is that? I like it. That is amazing. Okay, it kind of got broken. Okay, so that's not bad, not good, not bad. It's not the worst thing, but it's I'm kind of pissed off by it, so it shouldn't be broken. I wanted to continue it and fill in some of our open spaces with parks. That was what I really wanted to do. So what I decided to do instead, since that's going to be a bit of an issue, I decided, well, why not? Let's just start a new city. I like starting new cities. It's quite fun. I do agree with it. Ooh, this I think is an amazing spot for. How can you say that? How can you not want to do that? It should be an amazing spot for this. 700 megawatts. Pretty good. 500. If we do it over here somewhere, still like 700 is going to be the best. Something like 700 megawatts is what we're going to get over here, which I'm pretty sure we're going to do a dam over there for some power. But anyway, I'm going to do a new city. And I'm gonna feature some of the cool new Parklife stuff. That is a little bit funny. Anyway, it does contour a little bit, but not really well. So this is one of the new maps. Which one is it? Can't remember what it's called. Cavern Shores or something like that. As you can see, some caverns over here. So what we'll do is let's start and lay out a new city. And what I'm going to do is, since I don't have a lot of money, I am actually playing with money, so I have unlocked all milestones, so I'm not going to worry too much about slowly leveling up things. I am going to unlock it all together and get it started. But what I am going to do, well, obviously we're going to work with money, so we will take it one step at a time till we build up some decent cash. But I think a good way of doing that, though, is starting off with some kind of industry straight away, because that does do something for us. So we've got a bit of ore over here that's going to probably help us out. So against the mountains over here, we can do a bit of ore. There's some oil over here. We've got ore on this side too, which is actually looking pretty decent. If we can do a nice big industrial area over here, we can do both ore and what is it, forestry. We can do some forestry over here. There's some room for a little bit of agriculture, but I'm not too keen on doing that straight away. But obviously, first things first, we need to get going on some residential. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out the residential over here. And let's just first check one little thing. In terms of gameplay, random disasters are set pretty low. I want to do that, so we don't want to have tons of disasters happening all the time. Okay, how are we going to start this? This seems to be a little bit of overkill, unless we can run it up here eventually. We could maybe run it up here eventually. No, it won't go anywhere else, or we can obviously cross the other side, but it seems like a little bit of overkill, to be honest. But I'm not gonna redo that altogether now. We would rather just continue with it a little bit towards that direction over there. But these roads are fairly pricey, right? Yeah, fairly pricey. So let's at least start out with something a little smaller, something like that. If we go, say, straight into that direction, and what we'll do is, I think that one is probably going to be problematic somehow if we do something like that. That's not quite right. If we do something like that, that's almost right. Just a little bit beyond. That's a little bit too much. Usually I'm pretty good at getting this to work. That's too close, man. Something like that. Yeah, that's okay. Now I just need to... Oh, actually, that works. That kind of works. Okay, so what I'll do is let's start things out with a bit of a roundabout in here, and I think that's probably a fairly good idea, given that we don't. I don't think we need a full highway section right over here. So we'll start off over there. So give me this thing. Do that, and let's say 8. No, not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do. Grab it again and make sure we get the right tool this time. Oh, and I forgot to mention that this is a new series, which I'm sure you guys were all right on top of as soon as you saw the open map. So I would very much appreciate if you can indeed subscribe, hit the like button, all those good things. That looks weird, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, but I'm not gonna bother with that too much. What we will do, however, is probably need to trim these guys back a little bit, and then see about... Ooh, I don't like that, so make sure we ground these guys. We do something like that, and similarly what we'll do is actually similarly let's run it. Come on, guys. Anyway, do that, and we'll grab the mover tool just ever so briefly, and we'll tweak it out a little bit so that it kind of works. And it may not be great because it's kind of up on a slope, but it's okay, it'll work. So what I'm going to do is industrial on this side of things, so we'll grab a nice big road somewhere. Just something pretty standard. Oh, that's a reversed one. Where's just the normal one? Oh, there it is. That's the one I'm looking for. And let's start it off at least at a little bit of a straight like that, and then actually get back to the normal stuff. And now what we do is we will like 30 that way, and then let's go with 30 this way, and we'll say, well, do something like that, huh? So it kind of makes its way in this general direction. Something like that should give us enough room. Yeah, it kind of works a little bit with the contours over here. On the other hand, we can go straight forward in that direction, or we can run into this direction. And I think, as a starting point, we will be running in this general direction right over here. And it could be a little bit of a... go into a bit of a T-junction like this, and we'll do residential on this side of things. So that's kind of our base layout. So what we could do is this one can extend into a highway that's going into that direction, even with a roundabout alongside it. We can always bridge across that if we need to do so in the future. But first things first, let us start by grabbing getting a bit of this going on. Oh, and the one thing that I did want to do is just make sure that on these big guys, so grab this one, what I'll do is I will upgrade to that, and I'm going to say, can you guys know zoning on this? Okay, so I'm going to do that. I want to be very sure we're not going to have any zoning on this. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the normal road. We're going to say default stuff, guys, and we are going to run it in like this. And this is my problem. I don't like that, because now it's kind of zoned it again. So maybe what we need to do is we need to cut back on the zoning afterwards. So let's run a nice long one over here, and we'll kind of do another road at some point. We will see about almost tying these together, maybe doing something like that, you know, something like this, just so it's a little bit more interesting and provides some of that going on over there. So let's go back to the big roads. I'm gonna do my best and get rid of the zoning yet again. So please guys, I don't want any zoning on that. And then we will go back to the new stuff that we've created. But anyway, so that's it. So that's a good start right there. Of course, what I'm going to do is, this is going to be a bit of a residential area. Okay, so let us start off on this side by doing a bit of that, like so, and a bit of that all the way over there. We should probably do a bit of that, and then what we can do is we'll run a little bit like so, but I don't want to zone directly onto these, and we'll do a similar thing over there and over here. That should give me a fair bit of starting point, so I'll fill in the rest of this as we go. Now what we need to do is grab some water as a starting point. What I'll do is I will grab some water, yeah, probably straight in here somewhere. It's going to be probably a little noisy and so, but what we'll do is we will pop a water tower right there. That's going to make sure to give us a fair... What is that? Why am I not seeing it? Why is this? Why am I not seeing... should I toggle something? Hang on, let's have a quick look at my options. I think I've got a mod here that is saying... precision, prop line... what is it what I'm looking for? Find the road, network extensions, loading, district service, prop line, precision, topographic lines. I don't think I see the one that I'm looking for over here. But in reality, if I do go and look at water, it is actually there. But it's interesting that it didn't actually do that automatically, so that is certainly a bit of a bummer. So there goes our initial water. What are we going to do with initial power? It's not a lot. I can obviously do something a little bit more expensive, and I want to transition to something a bit more pricey over here. But maybe what I should do is let's lay out our... And now I've got some kind of funny thing going on. So let's lay out some of these industrial areas. So I'm thinking something pretty basic like that. Ah, man. Get rid of that. Go back to default. Okay, now get something like this going. Okay, like 24 there, and we'll do a little bit like this, and say a little bit like that, and then we'll kind of start turning it a little. And shall we go back, or shall we run it alongside it? Yeah, let's run it alongside it over there. I'm pretty keen on doing the same thing. What we'll do is we will just run some additional pieces in here. See, I'm happy with doing a few of these things to give us a little bit more room to maneuver. And then what I'll do is we will kind of turn this way, and we will turn that way, and that kind of gives us a starting point for this. So first things first, I want to do some power over here. So let's grab something that's not too pricey. I think this one is pretty good. That gives us 40 megawatts. This one gives us 120. 40 megawatts will stick a while, so let's start it off with that. So let's plop one of them over here. I think that's a good spot. We'll just start it there, and at the same time we will grab, and I do want to do actual specific industry, so let's paint a district over here. Madison Park, so let's just say Madison Hills, Madison Slopes, Madison. What will we do? What is the side of a mountain called? What is the side of a mountain called? Like, I don't know, Madison Slopes. Let's just do something like that for now. Say if you've got some better suggestions, put that down below. Oh, did I ask for you to please subscribe? Yeah, I did. Not subscribe. Hit the like button as it's a new series. That's what I kind of wanted to say. Okay, so let's get our industrial stuff in here so that they can start growing. We will start it a little bit in, so it's not directly at the intersection and so on. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to do is let's quickly do the no zoning thing over here. So what I'll do is I'll go like that and say no zoning, and then obviously it's not going to do, so do some upgrades. I don't want to zone these because really you don't want. You just don't want to zone them. That's fine. That's perfect. So now let's go back to default and go in here and see that we've got everything up and running. So let's grab a little bit more like that, and a little bit more like that, and some more over there, and see how they go. That's a pretty decent start. I've got a nice little new electric cable mod over here, and that's the suburban power line. So I'm going to click it. An interesting thing is it runs like this. Now, is that connected? Not connected. It is indeed connected. Do you actually connect it across the top of it? You do. That's much better. Okay, so now this one, oh, it only goes straight, does it? So we can't even make it turn. That's pretty useless. Pretty damn useless, I must say. People were raving about this mod, but really, if that's what it's all about, I do declare that it is pretty useless. Because now, look at that. That's horrid. Absolutely horrid. I'm not a fan of super duper detail, but it's not acting like you would imagine it to act. So there we go. We can run it straight across to the other side. No, we cannot. Yeah, so I don't like it, right? Space is already occupied. It doesn't even want to go that way. There we go, run it down there. That should give us, I think it's got a little something to do with this slope thing. If we go it up a little, it might be a slope thing. I just wanted it to be a little bit higher. Oh, that's okay. That doesn't look too bad from an electricity point of view. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, is all of this connected now? Let's just have a look. Again, with the electricity not actually showing up on the layer when I click it. So that is pretty much connected. That's pretty good. And the other thing that I want to do is most definitely switch off those things. Gameplay. Auto show in-game guide pop-up, so that's definitely switched off. Hyde Park area level up notification, display road names. Okay, no, that's fine. I think that's fine. It will maybe just be a once-off little pop-up. The other thing I wanted to do, oh, that's working now. So let's get the piping going. And yes, piping typically does happen alongside the roads in the road right of way. It'll be a good starting point at least. Do something like that. Something like that gives us a fair bit of action. And that gives us all of that. Okay, so let's open up and let people start moving in. And it's already 20 minutes in and we haven't really seen much action just yet. We will redo this interchange at our first convenience. What I'm kind of keen on doing is establishing maybe a bit of a hospital, basic clinic over here. That'd be pretty good. Maybe a little bit of and we need to do something with our sewage. So sewage treatment, I'm tempted to just use this one, plop it out over here. Okay, yeah, something like that. Plop it out over there, hook it up. That should give us some relief on the sewage right over there. At the same time, I do indeed want us to grab a fire station, something basic. So we'll grab a basic fire station right over there, and a basic police station, kind of somewhere over there. That should do the trick. And then the next step is maybe a school. So let's plop a school right there, and that should kind of give us the basics. Okay, we're going to start getting some commercial stuff coming in, and then we'll start seeing some industrial popping in. Oh, and the one thing that I surely have to do before it gets out of hand is make sure this Madison, I changed this to slopes, right? Madison slopes. I just didn't probably press enter. So Madison slopes, the iron ore industry right over here, basic industrial. Yeah, keep going. See that all of that's doing. And now let's start by, or let's continue by expanding on this area. So straight right over there. And why am I getting the traffic overlay instead of, anyway, that's fine. So what I'll do is we're going to have to start moving this into a direction. So 30 and say 30 like that. I think that is a pretty decent move right there. We could go over the top as long as we do that properly at some point, but it's very close to any form of interchange right over here. So what we'll do is we will start by, well, we could at the very least do another one like this, maybe even expand that one towards the other side over here, and even all the way up here. And then we can start by running a decent parallel section right over here, and this can be some kind of nice residential area. So up to there, then we go in there. Yeah, that's a decent stopping point. So for this one, what we'll do is we will run that straight up there. This one we will take up to say around there, then we bring that in, something like that. So that gives us a kind of a grid-like pattern to look into our as a bit of a residential layout right over here. I'm wondering if we do a straight through connection right over there. It might be a good idea if we do indeed do that. So that would feed into this area. It's very close though. It is very close. So we'll keep an eye on that. That may not be the best course of action right there. I'm tempted to add another connection. No, not a bridge connection. Surely not a bridge connection. Right over here, grab this. This is definitely no need to have a bridge connection. That is very basic stuff. So that's fine, just like that. So that's a bit of a connection right there. We could do a few additional connections. no, I think that is that straight. Yeah, that is actually straight. One over there. I think that in general is kind of giving us what we need in terms of being able to do an extra layout over there. I'm thinking not quite like so, and that's going to give us a little bit of room right over here. So that's our first residential area. I like the fact that we're already making use of some of the contours over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that that's fine. All of this area is absolutely fine. What we do want to do is, I want to do this area as commercial. That's kind of what we have as the main street. But again, with the zoning over here, so get rid of that. Make sure that we have no zoning on here. And then what I'll just do is make sure to grab, what's going on? Oh, make sure to grab this and upgrade that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and then we'll upgrade it back. No zoning whatsoever on the main road over here. We'll switch zoning back on and we'll get out of there. What we can do now is finish off that little section over there up to there. Good stuff. So that's up and running. Let's make sure to grab some piping. Again, we've got some issues with the piping. So let's do that. Run up here. Do that. Run up there. And there we go. And into this direction generally over here. And we'll do the same thing right there. So we can actually start getting that that area to build up a little bit more. We certainly need tons more of this. So let's grab some more over here. Let's do what we can right there and right there. And what I'll again do is I will do something like this. Okay, so that's starting to fill in nicely. We will do a lot more of this over here. Okay, we'll fill in a lot more over here, and I think it kind of places as well for our first, and I'll kind of leave that open. Maybe actually 2 rows if I wanted to upgrade that for some reason. I think we are well placed to now start looking into our first park. As we kind of get to an episode of fair length here, let's have a look at a city park. A city park. We need to firstly kind of zone one or paint a city park district. So what we'll do is we will paint this as our park district right over here, Underhill Gardens, and I think that's kind of happy with that. Actually no, let's just call it River's Edge. River's Edge. River Edge sounds like a very cool park name. Or not. Anyway, let's grab it. So what I'm going to do is I'm keen to have a nice appropriate park entry gate over there, and then some side gates at a number of kind of locations. So something like that, something like over here somewhere, something like over here, and we'll just see about one more on that side. So that's going to be kind of pretty much it. Let's please get rid of this. Ooh, I didn't quite anticipate that this is going to be an issue. Can we just drop that down all the way to the bottom, please? Okay, something like that. Right there, and then on the edge over here, we'll do that. We'll do something like that over there. So it's like kind of almost like a beach park. Not sure I'm very thrilled by what's happening over here. What we'll do is we will tweak it out a little bit like this, and we'll tweak it out like that, and then we'll do something like that. Yeah, it looks interesting. It's not a great beach environment, but it looks interesting. This one we will run kind of straight down there. I don't like the way that it's doing that, but it's not the end of the world. Let's do something over there. What is flying through here? The aliens are on us, guys. Look at that. I don't know what the hell is going on with that. I'm wondering if we've got more mods being all full of issues. Let's grab a fairly decent recycling center somewhere, and we will kind of place that right over there, kind of in the side of the hill over here. So there's a pretty decent recycling center that can start doing its thing. We're kind of running out of cash. Let's quickly finish off this park here. Yeah, I wanted to make it do a bit of a turn, something like that, like so. Something like that, and that kind of does a water's edge thing right over there. So that's pretty cool. It is a decent kind of park environment almost, I must say. I'm still getting issues with cars here. We need to do something with these guys doing I think it's the traffic. Hang on, just before we end this episode, let me have a quick look at our Traffic Manager President Edition and just see in terms of gameplay. Yeah, all of this is in. So I'm doing enabling advanced vehicle AI and more realistic parking, and I'm doing some reckless driving also, and the policies and the likes that I like to use is switched on. Vehicle restrictions and aggression, all those kind of things I have been using, and that makes things look fairly realistic. I do like it to do that. This is a bit of a rush hour traffic for, I think, mainly the move in time. Okay, so now we've got a park up and running, so people should be liking that. The park, however, has some kind of fee, so let's drop that down to say 1, so we can see if we can get more people to actually make use of the park. People are using it to a certain extent. I haven't actually filled in that side, but what I think it's about time to maybe just add a bit of a high school over here, and I think just across the road from the park main entrance is a pretty good spot, and to the back of that what I'll do is I will just pretty much fill in the rest of this with some residential. It's going to be pretty decent. So there's a fair demand. There's a bit of fire going on over here, but the fire department's on their way dealing with the issue. Not too big a deal. What is happening with our trucks? Garbage trucks in use? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, all districts. Let's switch that on. Yeah, there they go. So we can actually say which districts they use. Yes, there's a mod that I'm using for that. So all of our service areas should be getting serviced pretty quickly from that. So this thing, as kind of one of our final steps that I'll do is I will just make no zoning on there, and what we'll do is we will kind of run it alongside there a little bit. Okay, so it's going to run alongside there, and that's pretty decent. So that's our first kind of neighborhood over here. I should actually give it a bit of a district name and so on. So if you've got some ideas as to district names, please shout in the comments. Okay, this is being sorted out, and we can start by adding some district names to these things. But our first arterial road network is starting to plop into action quite quickly. Whether we're going to do a highway all the way through here, I don't quite know. I don't necessarily think, unless we can connect onto something over here, I don't see the big deal or the big requirement to have a highway run through here. We maybe start doing something on the other side also. Also, I'm thinking one of the first actions I want to do is make sure we get some a dam up and running over there. So we need people. People is the issue right here. We could actually do a bit of an extra residential district right over here, and that we might do in the next episode to make sure that there are people that can actually come and work this area, this mining district area right over here. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. As this is a new episode, we will be doing tons of parks. I know this is fairly rudimentary and basic, but we will do tons of parks in this episode. I mean, not in this episode, in this series. All of these kind of almost open and empty spaces over here will eventually turn into parks, because that is the real benefit of this. You can actually fill in some of the open areas that in the past you kind of just have as open areas like this. All of this is open areas, but what it could do is become a nice little park. Okay guys, yes, as it's a new series, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you like my stuff, if you like my Cities Skylines series, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you want to see in this series. Tell me what, if you have questions, why did I do this way? Why did I didn't do it that way? Leave that down below in the comments. Hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.